up, beautiful souls? Hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. Your boy Loon is back with another Reddit read, and today we are doing the weekly dive into Am I the Devil? For those of you guys that are new to the subreddit, Am I the Devil is home of some of the goofiest goobers on Reddit. It's a space where people find various posts where the OP is the obvious villain and devil in question. And they're super oblivious to it too, so it's always a funny and wild ride. And for those of you guys that didn't know, I did a stream yesterday and we did incel tiers. It was so fun, and I'm gonna try to be doing streams again at least once a week or two. And I'll also be incorporating the video essays coming soon. And I'm doing a gym tour, so I'm excited for that, a home gym that I built. But anyways, that aside, let's dive into today's video, the top of the week. All right, so r/AmITheDevil here. First post says, left his date to hit on another woman. Oh, brother, what? What a strong start we got. All right, so the original post was on r/relationship advice. How do I, 24 male, make it up to my neighbor who's 23 for leaving during a date? No. You were trying to date your neighbor and you left? Dude, you're gonna have to see this person like every day for as long as your lease is going on. This is gonna be awkward. But anyways, so OP says, I fully acknowledge that my behavior was wrong, but to be honest, I was incredibly drunk. How does that excuse anything? Honestly, you should have left that out. That just makes you sound worse. I recently moved into this new apartment complex and they have the small dog park for residents. I take my dog there fairly often. That's where I meet my met my neighbor, Carla. Whenever I saw her at the dog park, she made it clear she was not interested in me. Or she was interested in me, sorry. So Carla here showed that she had interest in him at the dog park. So I asked her out and I got her number. Fast forward to the date, I had planned on going to a bar and got way too drunk beforehand. That is quite possibly the dumbest move. You could, like, getting drunk before a date is terrible. I can completely understand if you needed to get like one drink to loosen up before a date because you're nervous, but getting hammered, worst idea ever. What? The amount of dumb things you're gonna say on a first date. And even if you show up, more times than not, people who are hammered, it's so easy to tell they're hammered. So like going into a date hammered, the person's probably gonna be able to tell, and it just looks bad. God, this guy's an idiot. This is why I love Am I the Devil though. He's so oblivious to it too, and I bet you it's gonna get worse. She even joked that she didn't expect to see the drunk me so soon. So initially it seemed to go well. And we made plans to meal prep together the next day. This is where I messed up. I saw this girl, Nija, who was stunning. Oh, dude, come on, bro. Like, how are you not realizing how much of a D-bag you are by even writing this down? Oh, I love the subreddit. And I got up to flirt with her. You got up to flirt with her on the date? Bro, oh my, are you serious? This is like 101, don't do this on a date. I got her number and lost track of time. When I returned to the table, Naja was already texting me back and I was distracted by my phone. This is just getting worse and worse. Carla was understandably upset and I realized I was being rude. So being drunk, I apologized and told her that I didn't think things would work out and that we wouldn't be able to meal prep because I had just made plans with Naja and didn't feel a connection with her. Bro, what do you mean? It sounded like you gave her maybe a half an hour of a chance even. What? She accepted it, asked for the check, insisting on paying her share, and left. I'm honestly impressed that this girl even paid for her share. I would have just left because that's messed up, dude. I have a crazy date story I'm going to tell after this that's kind of similar to this. She didn't give me a ride home, which I understand, even though we live in the same complex and she drove. I'd taken an Uber there and gotten there early because I knew I was going to drink. Dude, you are an idiot. I feel terrible because even though it was just our first date and we weren't exclusive, it was still rude to hit on another woman during the date. Okay, you know what? At least he realizes this, but I'm curious as to see what he's gonna do moving after this. So let's see. I was drunk and Naja is just incredibly beautiful. Dude, that's gross, man. And you know, these type of guys, I've met many of them. Hell, some of them are my friends. I've met these guys who just, they get FOMO. They get this constant fear of missing out, and it keeps them in the streets forever and on dating apps because they're always going to be thinking, oh, what if there's better, right? And they don't realize that, like, looks, yeah, it's cool to look at somebody and be like, oh, they're really hot. But connection, whole nother game. And like vibe, dude, there's so many factors that go into dating like serious. And I don't think this guy's ready for anything serious, at least by the sound of what he just did. He also sounds like a freaking 16-year-old. As much as it sucks, everything happens for a reason, and Naja and I are now in a serious relationship. Wow, plot twist. I was not expecting that. And things are going great. But what will happen if somebody comes across you and you think she's even more beautiful, huh? What will happen then? The only downside is that Naja is scared of dogs and she's slowly getting used to mine. That's a red flag, in my opinion. Now, the issue is that Carla is completely cold whenever I see her. Gee, I wonder why. She blocked me, which I understand. Truthfully, it would probably be disrespectful to Naja to text Carla and try to be friends. See, I just don't understand. Why didn't you just wait and approach this girl another day and let fate come aside? Or even like, I don't know, I just slip a paper or something. You made it so obvious. And I know he's drunk, but like, this is just such a bad play. Naja is fine with my woman friends as long as it's 100% platonic and I haven't dated them before. But I would like to get to the point where Carla and I can joke around and have our funny banter when we see each other at the dog park. Any advice on how to achieve that would be great. Look, this is my advice before I dive into these comments that are totally gonna rip this guy. You don't have to be friends with everyone. You kind of, at this point, you gotta accept your L, bro. You messed up, and it's too late to go back on what you did. You can apologize, but that's about it. And it's gonna be up to the other person to decide on if they want to forgive you or not. But either way, dude, accept the fact that she might not ever like you again because you're a dumbass. And that's good. Like, honestly, the quicker you accept that and you work on it for the next person or for Naja in this situation, just don't be a douche. Learn from your mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Come on, Hannah Montana. Dude's a piece of S. Carla's not going to ever be friends with him or even friendly towards him. Yeah, and accept that. Like, not everyone's going to be your friend. He was already in the wrong before leaving his date to speak with the other girl. They planned to meet at this bar, and he got there early enough to where he was extremely drunk by the time that his date even got there. He even knew he was going to drink this much, as he admits by the fact that he said that there was an Uber there for a reason. He took an Uber there. I think her decision to not drive him home probably had more to do with booze than the other girl. I know I would be extremely uncomfortable being alone with an extremely drunk man I barely knew. Yeah, like that's safety too. Edit to add, OOP is talking like this just happened, but it was near enough 6 months ago. He says that he got so drunk because he had given up alcohol for Lent, and this was the day after Lent ended. That's such a dumb reason to get hammered. That is slight alcoholism to where you can't even like ease back into something. You just got to get hammered because of it, which also meant it was Easter Sunday or Easter Monday. He didn't drink for 40 days, and his reward is to get this drunk. If she hadn't forgiven him yet, she's not going to. Yeah, what the hell? Dude, that one was bad. I like that one, though. That was fun. What an idiot. I love how, like, oh no consequences these people are. All right, overt misogyny is the title of this next one. Great start so far. r/true unpopular opinion. Oh, all right. I am tired of hearing how women are afraid. You're tired of hearing how women are afraid. I had to read that twice because that just... What? All right, let's read what his take is. If you check statistics, you will find out that men are the main victims of violent crimes. Yet we keep hearing how many women are afraid for their safety. Yeah, do you realize how vague violent crime is? Yeah, you guys realize how much of this can be violent crimes. I actually have to freaking blur some of this. But like, for instance, fraud is considered a violent crime. Aggravated a robbery. So like that goes beyond. What women are afraid of is that they may not be able to defend themselves in a situation like this because of their actual biological build. And on top of that, more than likely, men are the ones causing the crimes. Also, I'm pretty sure it's like 80% by the FBI that men are the ones causing violent crimes, right? So now imagine if you're a man. Am I scared of violent crime? Absolutely. Dude, I'm always constantly looking and out in public like what could happen, right? But now imagine that you're a woman, that same thing can happen, but you can also be a little bit more defenseless and the R word is into play. I'm not talking about You guys know what R word I'm talking about. Like, that's a whole nother factor. Essays in the play. There's just so many things. So what do you mean you're afraid? You don't understand how they're afraid. Like, that's so wild. All men need to know, wait, hold up. All men know you need to take some precautions and do it. Yeah, women do too. And yet, way too many people pretend men can walk around safely while women need to be very cautious. No, I think everyone needs to be cautious. Women have to be extra cautious. Tell that to all the men who get aid or are unalived on the streets. I don't get how this connects to the fact that it happens to both people. Why are we comparing that? This is so dumb. Such morons are doing a disservice to women and men. Women feel like they are in more danger than they really are, which is stressful. That's called being safe. And men can also be safe. What? And men are being treated as simply offenders simply based on their S. It also prevents society to engage with the real issue of male-on-male violence, as men are allegedly already safe. Okay, you know what? Look, I can get with this part where we as a society should highlight male-on-male violence as well. However, this shouldn't take away from male-on-female violence. That's still a thing. They're completely two different things. Like, I don't get how you're comparing, oh, just because this is happening, we should look at the other one lesser. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. You're an idiot. This guy's a genuine idiot, and now I'm kind of pissed. Women are most in danger from people they know, not strangers. And what gender are those people? Men. Men are scared of men. Like, I don't think you guys understand. What? OOP also leaves out conveniently that men who experience it mostly through, not exclusively, from other men. That's literally what I was trying to talk about. Statistically, men are the most dangerous demographic to everyone. Hell, I'd choose the bear at this point. Sure, buddy, is the title of this next one. All right, let's lock in on this. R/true unpopular opinion. What a home of goofy devils. Conservative women are more attractive than left-wing women. Says who? And is there a specific build on this? I mean, maybe. Like, let's Google conservative women. Let's just Google conservative women. We got a lot of, okay, not trying to be like mean, but like, or racial, but they are very white. Not to say that okay, we got some black people here. We got some black ladies. All right, this is conservative women. We got Candace Owens, LOL. All right, now let's look up liberal women. I'm seeing more variety in liberal women. You got a lot more variety. I think like conservative, you got more of a classic build. And you know what? What I'm going to say is if you're into this, that's cool. If you're into this, that's also cool. There is nothing wrong with being into either of them. And I don't think one is objectively better looking than the other as a whole. Because there are some ugly conservative girls and there are some ugly liberal girls. And then there's some beautiful of both. And we're all just beautiful people inside, right, guys? All right, so let's continue reading this, though. Oh, God, here we go. Sorry, that was really mean what I just said, but it's also true. Like, there's variety of people in every group in the world, right? And it's also on the eye of the beholder as well. All right, I admit this one's a bit more of a casual observation than my usual statistical fare on here. And for that, I apologize. Wild. Okay, at least he acknowledges that he ain't bringing up stats about this. I've noticed that conservative women are just more attractive, on average, than left-winged women in the United States and other English-speaking countries. Bruh, you got some weird-ass kink, man. Perhaps it's because they cater more to the male gaze. Is that really true? Maybe like they're looking. I know some conservative women, at least in the States, they do like fit the more traditional wife build, but not always. Also, or other such strange expressions. But it's not that they are simply better looking, though that is a factor. I don't know, bro. I'm just being honest. I've seen some beautiful women, and I mean beautiful, of all camps. I'm talking like, hell, my girlfriend right now, gorgeous, liberal. Like, whoa, mind-blowing, I know. But also, like, I've seen beautiful women of all types. So this is such a weird thing to say. This is on that Sydney Sweeney jeans type beat, you know? This is weird. Physical attraction is not what I'm talking about here specifically. Oh, okay. So he's not talking about physical attraction. Let's take that away. Conservative women are simply more pleasant to be around. more pleasant to men in general, and just more kind and more generous in spirit than left-wing women. Okay, you mustn't be talking about like extreme left-wing. I don't know. Extreme people in both camps are very mean. I don't know what you're talking about. People who lean more in the middle of either side are, I've found, to be more actual kind and generous and open-minded. I've noticed one thing in particular that perhaps I find more charming and important than most. Conservative women are kinder to and better than with children. How is that a thing that you have found? I genuinely, I've seen some very conservative, and I'm just, hey, and look, I'm not generalizing. I'm just going against his little take here because he's generalizing. I've seen some conservative households, women and men, raise kids, and the moment their kid is gay, it is like not okay. They are not nice to them, and yeah. So that's just all I'm saying. But I've also seen conservative people raise great kids and stuff, and it's vice versa with liberal. So I just don't understand, why are we picking sides and making this like a side thing? Also, this is so silly. Perhaps at my age, I find this more important than it is to most younger men. But maternal instincts are so attractive, and something left-wing women completely lack these days. They see that's not true at all. I think maternal instincts apply to almost all women who actually want to have kids. And that goes for either camp. I don't think that applies. See, this is just goofy. And this is why I try to stay in the middle as much as I can. I mean, I lean certain ways with certain things, but I also try to stay apolitical, because why are we making everything political? It just blows my mind. It's like you can't even think without having to take a side these days. It's crazy. Anyways, I digress. We go on to the next. The sanest Ask Men advice user. Okay. So Ask Men advice. This guy says, this cannot be said enough. Over 40% now, guys. Jesus. Okay. Single mothers, the worst disease in America. What? Are you serious? After 2020, you think this is the word? Okay, let's read what he says. Over the course of human history, humanity has endured its fair share of plagues. The Black Death, Spanish flu, and polio, just to name the few. However, there is a disease that is still raging on the world and will, unfortunately, continue to fester for quite some time. This is crazy that he's comparing being a single mother to the literal Black D, bro. Do you Black D? But do you realize how awful that? What? And how is this like an infection? It's also caused by men stepping out more than like most of the time. I mean, sometimes it could be caused by the woman, but more likely, like, men cause this. That can change it as single mothers. I can already hear the "how dare yous," so I know I am doing something right here. I will try to keep this as concise as possible and list the reasons why having any interactions with single mothers is a bad idea, and also why men continue to sadly do it. Okay, you know what? I'm going to try my hardest to not get mad. I'm going to get mad. My sister is a single mother. I almost said my mom. My mom's not. My sister is a single mother. She's amazing. She's literally like a beast. Like owns multiple businesses, raised her kid. Her kid's freaking super genius. Like, my niece is awesome sauce and super independent and very into very sick things. Like, she listens to My Chemical Romance. And I didn't even show her that. I was like, look at you. Yeah, but what? All right, anyways, let's read his little stupid ass thing about single mothers. I think he just got rejected by one, and so now he's writing this whole excerpt. All right, why interacting with single moms is a horrible idea. This has to be satire, right? Most men nowadays know the common reasons for not getting involved with single moms. Added expense, inconvenience, freedom restriction, baby data drama, you're not my dad, etc. When women say this in their profile, my kids come first, or my kids are my world, some of these idiots still think that it's actually a benefit for dating them. Wait, what? No, I think when they say my kids come first or my kids are my world, they're trying to establish that they have kids and that it's important to them, and that if they're going to date somebody, they should know that. What? How does this? Where did you get this guy is an actual idiot. But it's okay to not be into single moms. Like, that's fine. That's a preference thing. But why are you hating on it as if it's a disease? Again, most men realize they will never supplant a single mom's kid in terms of pertinence. Oh, that's not true. But is there maybe a bit more to it than that? There is actually. Okay. Coming from what statistical study? Besides the financial strain, risk of false accusations, and inviting more stress, there is a darker side to this whole my kids come first crap. Think about it. You are the guy who is basically rescuing her from her problems. She went out and chased Chad, Tyrone, Pookie, Ray Ray, Josh, and Julio until I said Julio, LOL, until she got knocked up. The fact that you said Chad, Tyrone, I just instantly know this is an incel / nice guy type guy. What a goofy goober. Since she is a moron, wow. Yeah, you were an incel for that. Who has dumb ass priorities, she will inevitably end up in this shitty economy situation with her little crumb snatchers. Is that what you consider kids? You would think she would look at a stepdaddy as the second coming of Jesus. I mean, some people, I feel like a lot of women, when they do date somebody, single mothers specifically, they do think of them very highly to be able to allow them into their lives, you know? I mean, stepdaddy is basically doing more for her than the previous guy has ever done. So why? Not all the times. Not all the times. So why wouldn't she view this man as a national treasure? Jesus, dude. Because why would you view anyone like that? Don't put anybody on a pedestal that high, bro. This F's with the guys, with the heads as guys, our heads. We instinctively have this I need to fix this S mentality. We think that when we go above and beyond for something or someone, that we should get compensated proportionally. No, dude, not all people think like this. I think you think like this because you're a goofy ass goober. This doesn't happen with single moms though. They see stepdads as morons and ATMs. Dude, says what study or what thing, like, what are you a girl? Are you a single mom? You know what? Maybe if you're a single mom, maybe this could be true then. Guys, this cannot get said enough. They don't think the same way we do. The more you do for her, the less she will respect you. The more you simp for her, the less she will respect you. I can agree with, but not the more you do for her. There's a difference. A little more on this. My kids come first crap. God, this guy really wrote this whole thing against this, and we are totally going to read all of this before we end it. I'm really interested now. All right, really think about this one. She poops out kids from the guys that she either A, booted out of the relationship, or B, chose a scumbag who she vainly tried to change into husband daddy material. Shocker, it didn't work. Here's the thing, though, you guys need to focus on. She wants these kids or those kids from that loser, scumbag, bum, or whatever affectionate term she uses for the baby daddy. She had numerous opportunities, both pre-S and post-S, to keep that stork away, but she chose to have her little melon heads from this bad guy. Dude, what? Some people just want to have their kid. What are you? You are an idiot. Basically, she will always have way more tingles from him than she will ever from you, Mr. Good guy. Yeah, you're just deeply insecure, my guy. I look, and I'm gonna say it right now. I totally understand if you don't want to date a single mom. That's a genuine preference. Same thing other way around. I totally understand if you don't want the baggage that comes with dating a single dad. I completely understand that. Now, this mentality on the reasoning behind it is super insecure, though. Like, this is just some goofy ass goober stuff. She doesn't want to keep, or she wants to keep the bad decision byproducts around as a reminder of him, and to always make sure she has some connection to him. Dude, this is just deep-rooted insecurity. Another problem with single moms is the perception that they expect men to have of them. They want men to think she made a bad decision, but did the honorable thing and is raising the little Chad spawn. She's a good person at heart and would make a good mother. We all make mistakes. No, effing no. Crapping out those kids will not change their mentality. It doesn't make them more mature or caring. If they were an insufferable bee before having the kids, they will continue to be just as bad or worse for having the kids. After having kids, I think that's false. I think I've met some genuine, or I don't think I know. I've met some genuine people who became better after they had kids. And I've met some that became worse. So it could go either way. She isn't wanting to settle down or tamper down on her BS. The last reason I will cover here is that single moms are ridiculously narcissistic. Okay. You see what? Did she want to poop out the kids to maintain some connecting to chatty mixed scumbag? Yes. But she also defecated them out because of they are part of her. When she was having those kids, her thoughts were not, I can't wait to raise this baby with my wonderful husband, or my proud family lineage will continue in earnest, or my friends and family would be so proud of me. Nope. She didn't give a S about keeping the baby daddy around. She didn't give a F about what kind of statistic she was contributing to. Who thinks about the statistic when it's happening? What? And she didn't give a rat's A about what kind of strain and issue her little miracle might have caused her friends and family in the future. Nope. It's all her pooping out a smaller version of her. So this is basically adding to the whole stepdad being priority number 37. Everything will revolve around her because that's the way that she wants it to be. I think everyone should revolve their lives around them, with an exception of like maybe family and stuff, but like you should care about yourself. Because if you're not happy, no one around you will be. Modern women are insanely arrogant and conceited, but single moms take it to another level. This guy really has a hatred for women, especially single moms. They are so far up their A that they'll never need a colonoscopy. Okay, that's kind of funny. And some of these single moms are huffing down their own farts so much that they don't even give a S about their Tyrone Pergony. What? I don't know what that means. As long as what is best for the kids coincides with what mom wants, and then the kid wins. If what is best for the kids, though, goes against what the single mom wants, the kid always loses. What? Why men still sadly continue to date single moms? As far as I can tell, there's 3 reasons why men continue to contribute to the disease. Oh, man, I remember, guys, this guy compared this to the Black Death. Like, what? And polio. That's insane. All right, 1, low-hanging fruit. Men will typically get suckered into the cesspool that is single moms because single moms will tend to give way more attention to men than what they are used to getting. Not always, bro. You were wildin' here, generalizing like hell. Most bees out there wouldn't dare to be seen in public with an average broke guy if she is young and doesn't have little crumb snatcher attached to her legs. Single moms will basically hang a neon sign of free pee or free, their privates over their heads and head out to any guy that is stable, has a stable job and is paying his bills. This is simple formula though to see. Jobs that pay really well typically require a lot more of attendance and attention, and by that, well-compensated employees. Managers, foremen, executives typically put out 50 hours plus a week at their profession because of that is what expected of them, is what is expected of them. For women with little waterhead miracles, dude, this guy is like, honestly, he's the Michael Jordan of hating and also coming up with like terms and nicknames for babies, because waterhead miracles is insane. This simply isn't possible. A good amount of them are unemployed, and those that have settled into part-time dead-end jobs. Thus, after so long, any guy who has a job and is paying his own bills starts to look good to them. However, she is not interested in contributing anything to his life other than unnecessary responsibility, stress, and problems. See, like, what he's trying to say is women over time, after not being able to get whatever guy because of their situation, they settle for less, right? You could have just said that. This whole explanation for it is just so not only generalizing and inaccurate in a lot of situations, it's just goofy, man. And she thinks her bedroom eyes, weathered, I'll say chest, and beat up V will make up for that with him. That is why some of these men think, yes, I hit the jackpot. All of my hard work and sacrifices paid off because this hot woman is batting her lashes and throwing her pee at me. Or not pee, you guys know what I mean. The juice isn't worth the squeeze, guys. Okay, so number 2 reason, most plentiful. With some areas, especially those with lower populations, single moms are not only the low-hanging option, but they constitute better than half of the available single women. Don't believe me? Go into any dating app or Facebook dating and don't go into Facebook dating, guys. That place is a cesspool for real. And do a search with no preferences. You will probably get at least a few hundred potential matches. Now go onto your search criteria and disallow women from having kids and hit the bottom search button. Not only will the results be disturbing, but you will... Well, actually, no. I've met a lot of women without kids. I've met some women with kids, but it depends age, what city you're in, What is your dating preference? What app are you using as well? There's a lot of factors into that. I'm going to say like 80 to 90% of the women I match with don't have kids. When I was on dating apps, by the way, I have a girlfriend now. But yeah, when I was on dating apps, that was probably like 80 to 90. And I'm gonna say like probably 10, 15, they would have a kid, but I wouldn't care most of the time. Sometimes I did. When I was looking to date seriously, I kind of did. Not only with the results being disturbing, but you can bet there are some women lying their A's off about not having kids. Yeah, that can be a thing. I will agree with that. And for those who have kids but don't have custody of them, considering the biased mistreatment of men in family court in every state, if a woman doesn't have custody of her kids, that should scream red flags all over the place. Kinda, yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that last part. Lack of options, 3. So while single moms do constitute better than half of the available viable female population in most areas, that doesn't mean that that there are not other single women available. However, single moms unfortunately tend to be the more attractive and slightly less psychopathic than their childless counterparts. What? That is so weird to say after everything you just said. They tend to be more attractive? That's so... What? Some of them, yeah. Some of them also no. You're generalizing with what study? Basically, it is all about youth here. If you meet a woman who doesn't have kids and is younger than 25, there is still some hope of LTR? I don't know what that means. Don't get married for the love of God. We'll go into that another time, though. If she is older than 25, though, and doesn't have kids or a marriage under her belt, chances are she's either suffering from a permanent ailment, is a barnacle-encrusted sea cow, or is the kind of woman... That is insane to say about women. Or is the kind of woman that will slash your tires and have turds on your pillow. Human turds. Like Amber Turd. Amber Turd did that. So a single mom can look far better than a land whale, or wow, that's crazy, and have fairly normal behavior. Men then figure, well, if that's all there is to it, then that's all there is, and I might as well. Or maybe, just maybe, you don't have to be involved with any woman. Most men see single moms as recreational use only. That's wild. While I can agree to that perspective to some extent, I also know that there is still an amount of wisdom in this quote from the movie Layer Cake. Very underrated movie. I recommend watching it. It is only very stupid to assume your enemy is stupid. Thinking you are getting one over on those single moms by pulling the old bang boots is what will get your ass baby trapped. And it only takes one F up for them to succeed in a dastardly plan. But dude, you don't have to worry. I don't think anyone's going to try to baby trap you, bro. You have to understand, guys, despite the narcissism and the arrogant behavior, there is extremely desperate people. That's true. I agree with that. There are people out there that are very desperate. This guy probably being one. And no, that is not meant to gather sympathy for them. They willingly put themselves in their hopeless situations, but rest assured, they will always be banking on someone to bail them out of their shitty choices. I can't say this enough, guys. These women, especially single moms, will stop at nothing to get whatever they selfishly want. There is nothing too lowbrow, deprived, or reprehensible for them. And the way that they see it is with their little Pookie and Ray Ray miracles. Everything is fair game when it comes to men. Stay the hell away from them, Jets. The best way to stop a disease is keep it from spreading. Let me know if I missed anything or didn't hammer something hard enough. Thanks, y'all. Do you realize that men are the reasons majority of women are single? What? Should we be blaming men for the existence of most single mothers? Yeah, well, how are they? It's their fault all of a sudden. That was my whole thing from the beginning. Like, what? This guy loves being a victim. He says that he'll pass on modern women, but then implies that there are women who want him that he'd be passing on, which X I doubt. Oh my God. I'm like 99% confident the dude is upvoting his own comments with his alts because just can't prove it. But just can't prove it. LOL. Yeah, 100%. I think this guy is more obsessed with Chads than anyone I've ever encountered. You can just date Chad, dude. Nobody cares. Man, what an incel. Yeah, we really dove into some goofy territories here. Yeah, I got to go eat. I'm hungry. It's like 9. I just got off work. So I'm going to end it on this note. But if you guys are new to this channel and you enjoyed this video, I do videos like this almost every single day. So make sure you guys stay tuned by hitting the subscribe and notification bell. Also, stay tuned. We're going to try to stream every week or two and also upload a video essay from time to time. I'm going to assume 1 to 4 a month. I'm trying to do at least one. But yeah, love you guys so much. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.